Xiegu G90 HF transceiver. This is about a £350 transceiver and can £350 to £400, and is usually the first thing that people start with in terms of buying a HF transceiver. As you can see, it is quite rugged. It is metal, all of the outer cases, and so is some of parts of the front panel. The back is also metal. Looking at the front, we can visibly see that we have the screen, we have a VFO knob, we have the volume control, and we have the multifunction knob. More on that later. On the back, we have an SO239 port, we have a power poles port, we have an ACC port for connecting the CE19 or the DE19 for use with digital modes, and also for connecting the XPA125B, I think, amplifier, so you can operate 100 watts. You have the 3.5mm port for a key. Moving to the side, we can see that this is we have fins on the side to increase the surface area, which leads to better heat dissipation, because it tends to be a problem with this radio sometimes, is that it can overheat. We have on the side here, we have our RJ45 port, which is for use with the included hand mic, where you can control all the functions of the radio. Moving to the top, we have the speaker, which is a very good quality speaker. I've used it quite a lot and it works really well. At the top of the transceiver, we have the on the head specifically, we have the band buttons. This is for adjusting band up and down, which is the amateur bands, 1.8 MHz, all the way up to 10 meter bands and 29.7 MHz. We also have the buttons to adjust the mode of transmission, which I will also talk about more later. You have a speaker port up here, which is 3.5mm, and you have a cat control port, which is also 3.5mm, and to do this you can use the included USB to 3.5mm cable. I think you can only use that because there is a chip inside it, which allows only that to be used. As you can see, on both the front ends and the back ends, you can see that we have these side protection rails up here. These work well to prevent against bumps that they may happen while in a go bag when you're on a box on the air activation, or to prevent against anyone hitting your bag or your bag moving around or anything like that, any collisions. They also protect all these buttons and knobs here, and the power poles and SO239 ports at the back. These are all protected by the side protection rails, and you'll notice that they are roughly the same length as the protruding, how much the ports protrude out of the transceiver. This of course makes it an ideal transceiver for any parks on the air, summits on the air, or any of the programs that exist, bunkers on the air. Anytime when you're going out portable, this is a great radio. I've used it quite a lot on quite a lot of parks on the air activations. Now there isn't much to see on the bottom, so I'm going to move it on to the powering on test and all the functions test. Turning on the radio using the button on the front panel, we can see quite a bright display present right here. I have no antenna connected at the moment, so you won't be able to see any activity on the bands, but as you can see, it goes from all the way up from the 10-meter band. You can select how to change the VFO by pressing the VFO knob. As you can see, it goes all the way up to 30 megahertz. So just at the top of the 10-meter band up here. Then we can go down. We have 15 meters, 12 meters, sorry, here. 15 meters. Whatever this band is, I've never used it, to be honest. 20 meters. The 30-meter band, 40-meter band, 60-meter band, an 80-meter band, as well as the 160-meter band. And then on receive, you can see it goes all the way down, straight down to 500 kilohertz. Looking at what you see on the front interface, you can see over here we have our SWR meter. Over here we have our bandwidth. Up here we have the AGC indicator. Over here we have preamp. Then we have our mode, our frequency, for our primary frequency, and then we also have a secondary frequency here named VFOB. We have our S meter and also power meter, and then we have our waterfall down here, and also the scope. To switch between the waterfall and the automatic CW decode, just simply hold down the key button, and here you will be able to see the automatic decoder. It's an alright decoder. I've used it sometimes, but it can sometimes get things a little wrong, and if the signal is not powerful enough, or you don't have the RF gain high enough, then it will fail to decode the letters correctly. To show you the modes that this radio offers, I'm just going to be using the mode buttons up at the top here. We have upper sideband. All the modes will be displayed underneath the preamp indicator over here next to the frequency. So we have USB, upper sideband. We have USB digital, which is for any of the digital modes such as FT8 and FT4 and JT65, any of those. We have CW, continuous wave, also known as Morse. We have CW receive, which I've not currently figured out the point of, to be honest. We have narrow FM. We have AM. We have lower sideband. And we have lower sideband digital. So that's a comprehensive view of all the modes of transmission that you can use on this radio. To change the bandwidth of your transmission and receiving, simply press on the multifunction knob and then adjust accordingly. By default, the multifunction knob changes the frequency in 100 kHz step, but if you were to wish to change the function of this multifunction knob, simply press function and then hold down on the function button. Now you can see here we can change what we want to set as. I like to keep it as RF gain, and then press save, and then depress the function button, and now you can change the RF gain or any of the other features you have in there that you can set it to. To change the radio between speaker and headphones, simply press on the volume knob. And now it is set to headphones, which I don't have any plugged in, so you can't hear anything now. But if I change it back over, you should be able to hear the interference that I'm getting from my computer. To change between VFO A and B, simply press this button up here, which will switch to the different VFOs. To change the brightness of the screen, simply press the lock key down at the bottom here. This will set the brightness of the screen to any selection you want, quickly and swiftly. I like to keep it a little bit lower than maximum to save battery when doing POTA. And then if you were to wish to lock all the controls, you can simply hold that key down, and now a lock icon appears. Alright, that's where I'm going to end the video. I hope this has given you a comprehensive view of all the controls and all the bits and pieces that you will find on the Xiegu G90. It is an amazing radio. It has 20 watts power output. I found that is always enough. Remember, the difference between 100 watts and 20 watts is only 1 S meter, so about 6 dB, I believe. But yeah, I've used this on quite a few POTA activations. I've made about 200 contacts at least using this radio, no problem at all. So thank you very much for listening to my review of this radio, and I wish you all the best, 73. And here is a section where I beg for you to do stuff for me. I am a small YouTuber with only about 31 subscribers, and I work really hard to try and make the best content that I can on YouTube, so I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to me, like my videos, share my videos, or anything like that, since that all helps to support me and support my channel and ensure me further growth. It also helps me to introduce this hobby to more people like us, and hopefully there are a lot of people who have never heard of amateur radio before, but it is a great hobby and I hope everyone has a great time in it. Anyways, I'm gonna call it quits there, and enough begging, 73, and have a great day.